Good morning, Packers fans. Aaron Negler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. It's Thursday, March 31st, and Mark Murphy is causing waves on the internet. I joke. I don't think he really meant to do this, but man, Mark Murphy talking into microphones is always a hot topic, always a fun time. And he did have a one-on-one with Larry McCarron there at the owners' meetings, and he said something I thought was pretty innocuous, but man, Twitter and the internet just ran with it, as they are wont to do. And I just wanted, can we just put this in a little context? Now, shout out to the folks at Packers.com for this video and the royalty-free music because it's so hot. But let's take a listen to what Mark Murphy actually said regarding the draft, as opposed to just taking it at the written word, because I think when you see it written down on the internet, it has quite a different connotation, as my DMs and emails would suggest. All of a sudden, Packers fans were like, do you think he's talking about like a huge trade? They're going to trade up into the top 10. Do you think, like, you would think like Randy Moss in his prime was coming to the Packers after the way some folks have interpreted this? Now, just listen to what he actually said.
So I know a lot of people are panicking. Who's Aaron going to throw the ball to? Well, we don't have a game for quite a while, and I know Brian and his staff have a plan. And, with the draft capital that we have now, Larry, I think, I'll just say the draft's going to be very interesting this year. I think we can really help ourselves.
We can really help ourselves. That's all he said. That's all he talked about. I think he's just talking about, hey, you know how usually you have to wait like 3 or 4 hours before we pick down there in the low 20s? Well, this time we've got a couple first-round picks. We've got a couple second-round picks. Like, we've got some draft capital. We can make moves. We can do things. And that's it. I don't think he's sitting there trying to send smoke signals that all of a sudden some league-shifting, landscape-altering deal is in the works for the Packers on draft day. Normally I don't, you guys know, I don't play videos. I don't use clips, but man, the amount of people that have reached out to me in the last like 12 hours about, what is this something? Like, no, I just think he's just talking like they got a few more picks and they're going to be able to help themselves. That's all. But it is fun. And it is that time of year. And when you put like, weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of time between like, the end of the season and then the draft gauntlet, so to speak, and now we still have to wait like a month before the draft. This is the kind of stuff that gets churned up. So I get it. Hello to everybody in the comment section. Good to see you all. Hope you're all doing well. I hope everybody's hanging in there on this Wednesday. Got some super chats up in here already. What's up, Chris? Good morning, buddy. Good morning, Nags. Long time no speak. I've been relatively quiet on my end as I'm sick as a dog. No COVID. Can't wait to mold that September roster. Oh, dude, feel better. It's a tough time of year. The weather is in absolute won't make up its mind mode. No question about it. These first couple days of this week have been freezing here in New York City. Take care of yourself, buddy. Are we really going to get DK? We'll see. I still think probably not, but I'm not completely dismissing it as a possibility. Adrian, thanks for the super chat. When Mark Murphy goes to the NFL owners meetings, is he the only person in the room with any real playing or football administration experience? Oh, you mean when he's talking or sitting around with other owners? At this point, I'm just racking my brain because it used to be Jerry Richardson was another former player who was in the room with the owners. But now that he is gone, I think he might be at this point the only one left. If there's somebody else, please remind me in the comments. But I think he is the only former player there. And what's crazy is that, Mark worked not only did play the game in the NFL, but also was a union rep. So he's literally been on both sides. And he has a very unique kind of perspective in that regard. And that's one of the things I think that makes him so valuable in his position, no doubt. What else we got? Yes, young receivers and save cap. Well, that's definitely going to be part of the plan. Dylan, thanks for the super chat. Really appreciated your conversation with Dusty and Sarah, especially the personal segment. As both an actor and an interviewer, are you a fan of Hot Ones? I know it's very popular, and I know it does produce tons of really fun content. It's never something that I seek out, but I do enjoy it whenever it comes across my feed or somebody sends me a clip. But there's only so many hours in the day, and my time is just completely kind of dedicated to either the Packers or my kids. And outside of that, I don't have a ton of kind of leftover bandwidth to seek stuff like that out. But I do enjoy it. And I think it's very fun, no doubt. Jeff, thanks for the super chat. Murphy feeds a starving Twitter. Exactly. It's like complicated fella all over again, you know? And by the way, has anyone ever been more vindicated in regards to like a throwaway line that gets completely devoured and blown up on the internet and it ends up he's totally right than Mark Murphy with his complicated fella line? I mean, it's shout out to Mark Murphy. That's all I can say. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, John. Doing my job for me. Uncultured Barbarian, what's up, man? Nice to super chat. Morning, Nags. The Bob Harlan piece was fantastic. Us old heads know what life was like before Harlan changed things. Pappies and puppy tip. Thanks, Uncultured. I just, it's that part of the off season where things, the pro days are starting to kind of die down, although I know there's one or two left, and we still got a long time until the draft. So, and as I said in the piece, in the video, it's just thinking about Mark Murphy down there at the owners meetings and how it almost wasn't Mark Murphy. If Bob Harlan goes with John Jones and sticks with him, who knows what the Packers look like right now? So yeah, it's just appreciation for everything Bob did for the organization. He's an absolute legend, no question about it. Justin, thanks for the super chat. Does Murphy ever make suggestions to Goot on personnel decisions, i.e., the draft? No, definitely not in the draft. Now, they do talk a lot, and there is zero doubt that when Goody is going to make a move, especially a significant one like trading Devontae Adams, he is obviously and absolutely discussing that with Mark Murphy. Like, Mark is in the loop on these things. But as far as like Mark breaking down tape and saying, hey, look at this wide receiver or whatever, no, absolutely not. Zero chance. Which is good. That's a good thing. You don't want the Jerry Joneses of the world. You don't want the Haslams of the world coming into your process and gumming up the works. I think that's one of the things that Packers fans probably don't appreciate about Murphy is how much he trusts his hires. Like, he hired Gutekunst specifically to build the roster every year, and he lets him do that job. But again, he is a sounding board. He is certainly there and in the conversations and knows what's happening, but he's not there to pick out talent players, and he knows that. And Packers fans are well off for that. Ron, thanks for the super sticker. Greatly appreciated, buddy. Thank you. What else we got? I really like Christian Watson. What's your take? Nick, I love him, which means there's no chance they get him. You guys, if you're new to the channel, you will understand throughout the years that anytime I really like a player, that's almost guaranteed that the Packers will not select him. So I love Watson, which means the Packers will not select him. I'm sorry. This is why it's probably best that I don't do a lot of draft work, because when I fall in love with guys, you can just definitely cross them off the list. So I apologize, but now you have a month in advance notice that the Packers aren't going to take him. So you're welcome. Accidental Hero, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Nags, I dig all your green on the background like a ghost into the fog. Yeah, I had to move things around at the apartment, and it's for anyone who is wondering, these coordinates right here are the coordinates for Lambeau Field. My oldest Madeline got this for me because Corey, whenever he does hits, has literally Lambeau Field as his background. So Madeline got me this. So she said, now you can both have Lambeau Field in your background. But yeah, I had to paint it green a little bit. Had to switch it up. Devontae Parker would be a great cheap fit. Yes, Dawson, I think so. Now it all depends on what they feel about the player, and what it would take to pry him loose. But yeah, I think he'd be fine. I think he'd be a good fit. I think he'd be productive as hell with Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball, no question. But that really comes down to the Packers pro personnel group and what they feel about him and how strongly they want to push Goody to try and trade for him, and then what the Dolphins want as far as compensation. And there's a lot of levels there. What's happening with Clay Matthews, Jennifer? Last I heard, he's moving or has moved to the Nashville area. I believe he sold his palatial estate out there in California and moved to Nashville, the Nashville area. Other than that, nothing football-wise as far as I know. Uh, you still got Sky Moore as your favorite wide receiver in this class? Tulio, not only my favorite wide receiver, probably one of my favorite players in this class, which, again, means the Packers will never select him. Apologies. Landry and Metcalf use picks to fill other needs. Yeah, I think we know the Packers have called about Landry. I think that's still a possibility. I know Landry was looking for big money though, and that ain't going to happen in Green Bay. It's one of the reasons Landry fired his agent. So, yeah, unless he is, amiable to taking a 1-year kind of prove it, chase a ring deal, come play with Aaron Rodgers, maybe pump up your numbers and hit the market again next year. Unless that's on the offering, and he's up for it, I don't see that happening. But yeah, I mean, look, there's no question that the Packers are going to utilize every avenue possible to bring people in, you know, and they're going to have some kind of combination, either if it's a trade or free agency or the draft, of new talent at the wide receiver spot. Like, you can just book that. There's no way they're coming into week 1 with what's on the roster right now. Now, what is going to transpire? I have no idea, but they have plenty of time to make it work. Trade up and get London. You want to trade up for London? I don't see that, man. I like him as a player, but trading capital to move up to get him? I ain't about that life. Walter Stanley, Philip Epps, and Perry Kemp were good for around 4,502, and Stanley and Epps had Randy Wright chucking the rock. Behold the power of the diminutive. Time for a Twitch guy. Soder, I love that you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say, like, the quick Twitch dude. Something that Packers will never do. As we discussed last night on the happy hour. It's not their thing. It's not their type. They like the big, strong dudes and work over the middle. They don't want those quick Twitch guys for whatever reason. Tyler, thanks for the super chat. Watson possible pack history with Bison players. I look, is it possible? 1,000%. Will it happen? Absolutely not, because I like him. See, this is the science here, people. I understand the history, and I understand that there are plenty of indicators here where he could be a selection for the Green Bay Packers. But I'm telling you right now, you don't have to worry about it. The science says he will not be a Packer. The science being that I like him as a player. I've actually looked at his tape. Not going to happen. Sorry, guys. Am I setting up the, double negative here? Possibly. Boyan G, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. What are the chances people in Detroit said, give us the draft and we will do Hard Knocks? I suppose there's slight chance, but Hard Knocks is pretty, you're kind of required at some point to do it. So I don't know how much of a sway that would have had. Chris, Funchess! Exclamation point. Will most likely not be back in Green Bay. I'd be very surprised. Is Andrew Brandt onto something, or is it a 3-year deal for Rodgers? My sense initially was just 1 year. Well, I think we're going to be back next offseason, and I know Ian Rappaport threw water on this, and I know a lot of people have said it's a 2-year deal with the option for a third, which I think technically, yes, that's how it lays out. There's no not doubting that. But I also don't doubt that next summer we're going to have some kind of will he or won't he with Aaron, like, contemplating retirement. Now, I think he has committed to the Packers for at least 2 years, and I expect him to be under center for the next 2 years, but I don't think it's an impossible idea or like a complete out of the realm of possibility that Rodgers is back next summer going, oh, I don't know. I just got to take some time after another disappointing playoff exit. Yeah, that's right. I called it. Prove me wrong, guys. TKM, thanks for the super chat. Flashback alert. Mike Ditka trades all his picks for would HCML and Goot ever? Puppy Fund and Nagler's never right in the draft. Yeah, from your super chat to the football god's ears. Would they ever? No chance. Not in a billion years would they make a Ditka like trade. No chance. Nicholas, thanks for the super chat, bud. Do you think we should be in the conversation for Bobby Wagner? I know we have Chris B, but when you have a chance to pair Devontae with another All-Pro, ... I would be absolutely shocked. They just paid Devondre, and Bobby Wagner is going to get paid. They're definitely not paying. We all know how anathema they've been at paying that position. There's no way they then turn around and use free agency dollars on Bobby Wagner after paying Devondre Campbell. No chance, especially when you got Chris Barnes sitting there as a exclusive rights free agent. They can pay the minimum to. Yeah, no chance. I love the idea of the two of them together. I'm with you, man. That'd be a lot of fun, but nah, no way. Nah. I'm gonna go with no on this one. How long does love stick around for? Nick, it all depends on what's in your heart, man. No, how long does Jordan Love stick around for? I think probably 2 more years, and then we'll see. Now, I say this, and they could trade him on draft night for all we know, but I think they're going to keep him and have a comparatively cheap backup who knows their system for the next couple of years, and then figure out what Aaron's doing, and away they go. Love is cheap. Keep him. Well said, Edward. That was shorter than my version. Long-time listener, first-time caller. We should give Funchess a try again this year and get another vet like Julio, too. Chris, I think Julio being signed by the Packers is much more likely than bringing back Funchess. Let's say that. Dawson, good one, Nags. We need more love jokes. I mean, the world needs more love jokes. You were pretty funny today. Today? Funny how? Like I'm a clown? Like I amuse you? I don't know. Okay, I'm off the rails. Ron, thanks for the super chat. So now you just publicly hate Moore and Watson. Oh, that's a good idea. Yes. I got to hate them, right? Oh, Moore, Watson, terrible. Those dudes are awful. I really hope the Packers don't draft them. That's good stuff. Twitter, Nagler predicts love trade on draft day. Probably, Jeff. No doubt about it. Big B is here. What's up, Big B? Much love from Brazil. Would love to be a franchise. Andre, what's up, man? How are you? Great to see Nags in such good spirits. I'm always in good spirits, motherfucker. No, I don't know. Sorry. Tony, is tight end a sneaky need for the draft? I mean, I don't know how sneaky it is. I don't think there's any doubt that they'll be looking at tight ends. And if the value on their board fits, they will make a selection. I do think they can win games with what they got, even with Tunyon probably not starting right away. And I know the report is out there from Huber that they expect him to be ready for training camp, but I still would suspect that they'll be cautious. We know the Packers, they are very conservative when it comes to medical stuff. And then you look at DeGuara, Big Dog, Daphne, and Davis. I do think you can do a lot with those guys. And I think there's no question that, if they had to employ that as their tight end group, no problem. But you're always getting better. You're always getting worse. And you're always looking to improve. And I do think, again, if the value is there, and who knows, I mean, it's their board. I have no clue. But if the value is there, 100%, I think they take a tight end. Probably not with a premium pick, but somebody late day 2, early day 3 would not be a surprise at all. Brazilian coffee running through your veins right now? No, actually, this is some generic stuff that I get every week at the grocery store. Good stuff. Is Big Dog a free agent or is he under contract? Steve, he's under contract. They paid him a bonus like about 10, 12 days ago. So, yeah, he's still under contract. He'll be in Green Bay this year. This is Garrett with a great place to leave it here. Have you read any of the Star Wars High Republic books? No. I mean, I love Star Wars. You guys know I'm a total geek about it. But a lot of that expanded stuff, and I know it's canon, I get it, but I don't know, man, it's not for me. Especially Star Wars is such a visual medium, and there are plenty of Star Wars books that I've enjoyed. I've read a ton of them. But yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't really hit me. I'm very much on the smuggler side of things. If there's anything having to do with hiding from the Empire, smuggling, whatever, my daughters always call it the pew pew side of Star Wars. I'm in. But lightsabers and the Force and the political intrigue, man, politics ain't enough in real life. I don't need politics in my Star Wars. I mean, my lord. Marshall, thanks for the super chat. 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. William Henderson blocking. Who do you want punching it in? Amon Green, Lacey, or Dylan? Oh, man, that's a question right there. Holy cow. I'm not even joking, man. I'm not even joking. I want A.J. Dillon. I was just watching the Cardinals game, rewatching the Cardinals game the other day, and you guys remember that 4th and 1 where he legit gets hit behind the line of scrimmage, almost a full yard behind the line of scrimmage, and still picks up the first down? Dylan's a hammer, man. I love that kid. And that's not to take anything away from Amon, who clearly had one of the most insane seasons ever in the history of the Green Bay Packers when Favre hurt his thumb in 2003. And the entire stadium, including the defense, knew what was coming every play. Like they were literally calling it out. Off tackle right, off tackle right. And he would still pick up 7-8 yards. I am not taking anything away from Amon in any way, shape, or form. But man, AJ's a different beast. He is just a different beast. All right, everybody, I'm going to have to get going. Can't thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on your Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor. Hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family, Cheesehead TV, we're devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. One more time before we head out, just for all of you out there that are pumping it up a little bit, let's take a listen to Mark's actual words.
So I know a lot of people are panicking. Who's Aaron going to throw the ball to? Well, we don't have a game for quite a while, and I know Brian and his staff have a plan. And, with the draft capital that we have now, I think, I'll just say the draft's going to be very interesting this year. I think we can really help ourselves.